Have you ever noticed that the smartest people rarely join gossip? They listen, they observe, but they never add fuel. It's not because they're cold, arrogant, or uninterested. It's because they understand what gossip really does to the mind, to trust, and to respect. Every word you repeat shapes how people see you. And while gossip may feel like connection, it often costs you credibility. So today, let's break down the psychology behind why the smartest people avoid gossip, not out of fear, but out of awareness. Part 1. The hidden psychology of gossip. Psychologists like Robin Dunbar believe gossip wasn't born from malice. It evolved as a way for humans to connect. Sharing stories about others was the first kind of social glue that kept tribes alive. Imagine ancient tribes sitting around a fire, sharing stories about who helped, who betrayed, who hunted the most. It wasn't cruelty, it was survival. Talking about others kept everyone informed, and that built trust. But as societies grew larger, gossip changed shape. What once bonded people together now quietly divides them. It doesn't build trust anymore, it builds insecurity. It creates micro-cliques, invisible hierarchies, and hidden comparisons. Every whisper that leaves your mouth trains others to see you differently. Not as loyal, not as trustworthy, but as someone who trades truth for attention. Gossip, in a way, is social currency. It gives you quick access into groups, but like fast money, it comes with interest, and that interest is your reputation. Over time, people start to associate your name with noise, not integrity. And the smartest people understand that once your credibility is damaged, it rarely heals completely. They don't join gossip because they see it for what it really is. A cheap shortcut to belonging that always costs too much. Part 2. Why smart people stay away. So why do the smartest people avoid it? Because they understand something most of us miss. Gossip changes you more than it changes the person being talked about. It rewires how others perceive your character. It silently tells the room, you can use me as your audience for negativity. And once people sense that, they keep coming back. Not because they respect you, but because they know you won't stop them. The intelligent don't resist gossip because they're moral saints. They resist it because they value peace over participation. They know that when your energy goes toward judging others, you lose sight of improving yourself. Neuroscientists found that gossip activates the reward circuit in our brain, the same system triggered by social media notifications. Every time we get the tea, our brain releases a small hit of dopamine. That's why gossip feels good. It makes us feel involved, included, even powerful. But emotionally intelligent people learn to step back from that rush. They know dopamine doesn't equal depth, and that real confidence doesn't come from knowing secrets. It comes from being trusted with silence. When they stay quiet, they're not ignoring people. They're protecting their peace. Because gossip is rarely about truth. It's about validation disguised as conversation. Their silence isn't weakness. It's self-control disguised as calm. And in a noisy room, that calm becomes power. Part 3. The illusion of harmless talk. Many people think gossip is just light talk, a way to bond, to fill silence, to pass time. But psychologists call it triangulation, when someone pulls you into a fake alliance by putting someone else down. It feels flattering, like you've earned their trust. But in reality, you've just joined a loop of insecurity. If they gossip with you, they'll gossip about you. And the smartest people know that every alliance built on negativity collapses. They also recognize the emotional pattern behind gossip. It often hides envy, fear, or boredom. When life feels dull, gossip becomes a way to feel important. But importance built on comparison is fragile. So instead of feeding that pattern, they step out of it completely. They don't defend anyone. They don't attack anyone. They simply don't play the game. Because what looks like silence to others is actually emotional intelligence in disguise, a quiet refusal to be controlled by social tension. When you choose not to respond, you're not being passive. You're choosing peace over pressure. You're telling the world, my energy isn't for sale. Part 4. How the smart respond. Now, avoiding gossip doesn't mean you have to lecture anyone. In fact, the smartest way to stop gossip isn't confrontation, it's redirection. First, kill it with kindness. If someone starts bad-mouthing a coworker, respond with calm surprise. Really? That's not the experience I've had. They've always been kind to me. No argument, no defense, just quiet grace. It confuses the gossiper's expectation and removes the emotional reward. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. When someone's negativity meets your composure, their brain pauses. You don't win by proving them wrong. You win by refusing to play. Second, stay neutral. Could be. Everyone has bad days. Neutrality disarms judgment. You're not taking sides, you're reframing it with empathy. This is called emotional reframing, and studies show it reduces group tension more effectively than confrontation. Third, shift the topic. Anyway, did you see the new project update? Or, speaking of that, how's your team holding up? That's social Aikido, redirecting energy instead of resisting it. You don't need force, just flow. And finally, add humor lightly. Wow, this is starting to sound like a Netflix series. Who's writing the next episode? Everyone laughs, tension dissolves. But once laughter fades, gently shift the topic. Humor is emotional reset. Psychologists call it the relief theory, releasing social pressure through light laughter. Use it wisely, not to mock, but to dissolve tension. Because every time you redirect energy, you subtly teach people how to treat you, with respect instead of drama. Part 5. When gossip turns toxic. Of course, not all gossip is mild. Some people don't gossip to connect, they gossip to control. And in those cases, kindness alone won't work. Psychologists suggest the gray rock method. Act boring, neutral, uninterested. Give short replies. No emotion, no energy, no fuel. If they realize they can't get a reaction, they'll move on to someone who gives them one. Or, if you prefer honesty, draw your boundary calmly. I'm trying to focus on staying positive lately. Can we talk about something else? You don't need to explain or justify. Boundaries are not arrogance, they're clarity. Yes, it might feel awkward, but awkwardness is often the first sign of growth. It's your discomfort teaching others what's no longer acceptable. And the smartest people aren't afraid of that, because they know silence teaches louder than speeches. Part 6. Closing insight. Avoiding gossip isn't about moral superiority. It's about understanding human nature deeply enough to not get lost in it. Gossip tests your discipline, your empathy, and your self-respect. And every time you choose silence, you're not being passive. You're training your emotional control. Epictetus said it best: you can't control others, only yourself. So in a world that rewards noise, be the one who listens carefully, speaks kindly, and refuses to join the chaos. If this helped you see human nature a bit clearer, subscribe and keep exploring the mind with us.